week 15 of the fantasy basketball season, and it's definitely crunch time now, 2 weeks before the playoffs start in most fantasy leagues. But here's a few forwards you should drop off your roster right now. This week, the first guy's DeAndre Hunter of the Atlanta Hawks. Hunter, he was out for a while with a knee injury in the mid-weeks, week 7, week 8, to all the way to week 13. And now Hunter, again, he's going to go under a minor knee procedure. And Coach Nate McMillan says he's only going to be out a couple days, but I don't know all about that. Hunter, it's been a struggle for him the last few months now to stay on the basketball court, and these leg and knee injuries for Hunter on the season. He's ranked 70th when he played fantasy basketball, 16 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 1.6 threes, 86% from the foul line, and 50% from the field. So yes, if you have an IL spot in your leagues, you could definitely stash him on your roster as Hunter, but I don't think it's even worth that at this point. Hunter, he's only played a couple games, and then he got hurt once again, and March 22nd was that first game at the Clippers. 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, a steal. And March 24th at Sacramento, 2 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, and a block. And then he left that game banged up. So Hunter, I just can't trust him. I doubt a minor knee procedure is only going to take a few days. And even if it does, he's got to work his way back into shape and back into the rotation. And I think this season's a lost fantasy season here for Hunter, even though he got off to a rip-roaring start. But right now, he's droppable, and he's already only owned in 40% of leagues. So I think it's an easy guy to cut loose. The second forward's Danny Green of the Philadelphia 76ers. So it's Danny Green. He's been a tricky guy to own this year in fantasy basketball. He's still owned in 47% of fantasy leagues as Green. On the season, he's ranked 84 with 9.6 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.3 steals, 2.6 threes a game, 72% from the foul line, and 41% from the field. But the last few weeks, Danny Green, the numbers, they've been about the same here. 38% from the field, 8.5 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, 2.3 assists, a steal, 1.3 blocks, 2.5 threes, and 80% from the foul line for Danny Green. So Green, he's a better real-life player than a fantasy player, in my opinion. He does all the intangibles. He gets things done, the little small things, and he's still a pretty decent 3-and-D guy for this Sixer team. And this guy, he's going for his third ring in 3 seasons with 3 different ball clubs, which hasn't ever happened in NBA history. So he has that going for him. But the last 3 games, April 1st to Cleveland, 11.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, a block, and 3 threes. April 3rd versus Minnesota, 9.6 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and 3 threes. And April 4th versus Memphis, 6 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, 2 blocks, and 2 threes. So Green, he's getting about a block a game, it seems like. He's hitting 1 or 2 threes, but the scoring's low, the rebound's mediocre, and he only gets a few assists here and there. So I think he's a guy that's pretty droppable, and some fantasy owners have already dropped him in 3% of fantasy leagues this week. And the third and final forward, I would look to drop this week's Gordon Hayward of the Charlotte Hornets. Hey, I've been saying it all year that something's going to go on with Hayward where he's going to be out for an extended period of time. And I hate to say I told you so. Yeah, it might have took 15 weeks, but this was it now. Gordon Hayward, he's out with a mid-foot sprain, and he's not even going to be reevaluated for another 4 weeks. So let's say they evaluate him in 4 weeks, and then he comes back. It's already 5 or 6 weeks in, and that's going to take us pretty much to the finals if you make it or past that. So right now, I think he's an easy drop candidate in fantasy basketball. And Hayward, he was doing great on the season, but just the injury bug plagues him throughout his career. This season, 19.6 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 1.2 steals, 1.9 threes, 84% from the foul line, and 47% from the field for Gordon Hayward. And it's just unfortunate for him that he went down again, but it wasn't something I didn't see coming. It's just the nature of the game sometimes. When you get a few injuries throughout your career, they start piling up, and that's when you get hurt. And Hayward, it was a good season. He got the big contract, at least for his sake, from the Charlotte Hornets, but now he's going to be out and LaMelo Ball out for the season with this ball club, so they probably won't make that last couple seeds for a playoff push. But Hayward, he's definitely droppable in leagues. Like I said, it's week 15 now. He's out 4 weeks. I'll take you to week 19. And most fantasy leagues championships are either week 19 or week 20. So he's pretty much a wash in the rest of the fantasy basketball season. So that's a few forwards I would look to drop here in week 15 of the fantasy basketball season.